I think we're live.
You think we're live? Did you see the red button?
Yeah, I did. I hate it.
You know I'm traumatized.
It's a nice little countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2.
And we're back!
Hello, people.
Back again with another episode of the Plugged In Podcast, where we are plugged into all things sports, culture, and lifestyle, and this is our outlet. I am Sierra.
I'm Cam B. And, we're back in the new year. Happy New Year.
Thank God we were able to see another year. Always a blessing, because there's some that did not, unfortunately.
For those that's here that made it, hey man, we're here for another year. See what chapter 2025 has to offer. But let's go ahead and plug. This is where we tap into the latest and greatest within our city, the Queen City, to keep you up to date with the events and resources to charge you up for your week. So like I said last week, man, I know everyone's not from Charlotte, don't live in Charlotte, but we just really want to keep everybody abreast. But I think everyone will be up to want to know about this little New Year's, man. What are your goals for the year?
Personal goals for the year.
Yeah.
Well, I should say /personal/professional would be. I'm gonna give a couple. I ain't gonna put all my business out there.
Talk to me.
You know what I mean? But one is, and we're gonna talk about this a little bit later, because we took our time to get into insecure this week, which happens to relate still to our lives right now.
That's a fact.
And one of them being is finding another job.
There we go.
Something else to do. Just kind of getting burnt out with where I'm at. Don't want to go too far into this, but looking for some change to happen, and being more intentional about that. So I looked into this project management certification, and I think that's something that's kind of right up my alley. So I've been, working on that for a little bit now, but I'm trying to refocus myself to truly say, all right, I'm about to get this done, in a certain time.
That's a fact.
So those are my two top things for sure. And I think another one, just from a personal standpoint, just mentally being more present and I'd say in conversations with people, but mostly within myself, right? I feel when you spend a lot of time with yourself or whatever, or when you get the moments to spend time with yourself, being present and feeling what I feel, and being able to kind of dissect where I'm at and where I'm going, you know what I mean, and what I want to feel. For example, people want to feel happiness, right?
I feel that.
Being able to understand what does that look like for me? If I'm feeling at times right now burnt out, what do I need to do to get myself back to feeling how I want to feel? And so just being intentional with stuff like that. But yeah, being more present of the world around me, and what's most important.
I feel that. That went a little deep there, man.
It did. That wasn't the plan.
We even got to the outlet yet.
I know. Ever since the year started, I've just been really. I ain't gonna lie. I've been really in my feelings though. So this is truly our outlet.
I feel it's really good to be reflective of who the person that you want to become.
Right.
I know towards the end of last year, I was very much in my feelings of just different circumstances that you know about. We've had those conversations one-on-one, but just trying to better myself as a person as well. So I'll go ahead and get into my goals. Definitely the biggest is trying to become a bit healthier and just not just working out every consistently, but what I put into my body. I know for anything me, I'll go to Taco Bell. I don't even know if it's real meat, but I still eat it.
I said that, but I just had a McChicken before I came over here from McDonald's.
Yo.
McChicken, add cheese and bacon. Let me tell y'all real quick. If y'all still on McChickens at McDonald's, sorry to cut you off, brother, but the people need to know.
Hey, rock out.
And shout out to my dog, Celeste. Cucka put me on this.
Cucka.
Yeah, that's what we call each other. Yo, my dog put me on this. I've been on that joint since high school. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
You got me over there thinking about Celeste and man, I used to
yeah.
But oh man, you got me thinking. All right, I'm gonna stay on topic. Because I was about to talk about the one. Yo, oh my god, I got you. All right.
We not about to get
30 seconds. I just remember when McDonald's had the dollar McChickens.
Oh yeah, that was in high school. That's why we used to get them. That was a pregame meal.
Dollar sweet tea, tea. I used to get 2 McChickens, a large fry, and a sweet tea for $5.
Let me tell you, I went there today. No more. I got a McChicken, add cheese and bacon.
Yeah.
A medium chocolate milkshake and a medium fry. That shit was $14.
Oh, they don't play no games no more.
I said, man, inflation is a real thing.
Man, raise up the minimum wages. But all right, back to my goals. Yeah. So health is wealth. But also, man, like I definitely like I started last year, like just improving myself as far as like reading more, being more intentional with my relationships. I don't really have a lot of friends that I really deal with just because like I've been kind of messed over like with a few of my like lifelong friends like along the way. Yeah. But I mean I got like you, I got like a lot of like core friends from like back in the day that like I stick with, but like really trying to develop like new connections within the city because we're trying to get plugged in. Yeah. So that's really a plug. I'm gonna do that every time. Yeah, go ahead. My shit's up.
That's our drop. I'm the personal drop.
Nah, for real. Once we start, I'm telling you, once we monetize, man, we're gonna have to like figure out how to talk to Kodak or like maybe Drake. Talk about Drake later a little too. But anywho, that building connections, but also, man, I think one of the goals that I have, and I think we both have, is like growing this like pod. So,
absolutely.
Like this is a can't stop, won't stop.
I thought you gonna really Harlem Shake. I thought you were gonna commit.
Nah,
you got a little stiff.
Shoulders a little too broad these days. You feel me? Can't get them with the.
Can't get them like you used to.
Nah, I can't. But man, we didn't talk about our goals. You know, 2025. I thought we were done with the BS from 2024 with all the craziness that Cat Williams like started off with last year. But you know, there's been a lot of like craziness going on, man. Thoughts and prayers out for New Orleans, that massacre.
Yeah.
The Trump Towers explosion with the Cybertruck.
Which there's a lot of conversation around what really happened with that. Like I heard something just driving over to your place today about how the guy had his wife just confronted him about cheating and all this kind of stuff. Like,
which one?
It was his second wife. The Trump Towers, yeah. So they were like, you know, was it a political play or was it actually because of personal reasons? Because he shot himself before he blew it up. So
he was. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I mean,
you know, it's crazy. He was an Army vet. Actually, both of those instances were. The one for the New Orleans guy, he was an Army vet.
I saw that.
And he had an honorable discharge. So like in the Navy, he didn't show any like signs of like terrorism or anything of the sort that would kind of lead you to think that he had that kind of ideology. But also the guy from the Trump Towers, he was actually on leave from the Army. That's interesting. It is.
And then there was a mass shooting in Queens too. Had some people injured, and then there were some other things that happened on New Year's Day, like in Chicago. I was just reading, and a couple other areas. So I mean,
even in our hometown.
Yeah, there was a bomb. Yeah, they stopped traffic on I-85 on New Year's Day. And at first they said it was an accident. Then come to find out, it was actually a bomb that they had to disarm. Yeah. And so, yeah, man, it's crazy right now.
It's a lot going on, man. Hopefully, with inauguration going around, you know, there has been talks to where like, oh, is this like an issue because of, you know, it's kind of, I think it's like a pretty ironic, or maybe it's ironic that at the Trump Towers there was a Cybertruck, and you know that Trump has dealings with Elon Musk. So there's a lot of different like political things like spewing out, or whether there's like this anti-Trump rhetoric going around. But man, at the end of the day, man, we have to make sure that we protect our people, protect our families, make sure you're checking in on your families. Like, you know, when I found out about what happened in South Carolina, the first thing I did was call my mom to make sure she was okay. Yeah, so like, just make sure you keep everyone in your thoughts and prayers. Make sure everyone's safe. We want to make it out of 2025 the same way we made it out of 2024 with all our limbs. Man, let's go ahead and jump into just something that's going on in Charlotte that, like, you know, we all deal with. So, you know, there's been a whole bunch of development within Charlotte as far as just like high-rises, houses, all this kind of stuff going on. There's been a really big hot streak of them building, but now it's starting to cool off. And there's a lot of vacancies within these like residences.
You know what?
I'm listening.
Because people ain't got no damn money to be paying for these high-ass townhomes and apartments. It's crazy.
If I told
it's too expensive.
Yo, like literally when we moved up here, I was just thinking about, I was like, oh, we're going to move on the outskirts. I was thinking to myself, like, maybe I want to enjoy the, like, Charlotte experience. My Charlotte experience is done now.
No, see, that's why I live on the outskirts, so I can just drive in. Yeah. You know what I mean? And experience some of that and then take it on back to the crib.
Nah, this is
not as expensive, but it's still high down there. Now, I'm by the lake, so.
You by the lake?
Kind of. I mean, Hunterfields.
Is it Lake Norman?
Yeah.
You would think that would be
a little bit. It is. I said by the lake, not at the lake.
Okay. Nah, man. Like I've been driving around like Charlotte. I'm one of those ones. I waste gas just by driving around, just trying to find different like food spots. But even just like looking at like different neighborhoods to see where I want to move to next. It's a little cold in here. But
yeah, that sounds like I'm gonna be shaking.
It's a little cold in here. But like I've definitely been looking around like Still Creek area, like even Huntersville. Nice. It's really nice. Man, I'm trying to move up out of here, but I can tell you one thing: they're gonna have one less person to stay in one of these spots because it's ridiculous. And I guess the price that they're charging for a lot of these like apartments and townhomes they're building up, it's ridiculous. What's going on? Who do you think is moving to Charlotte?
I guess a bunch of famous people.
Yeah, I haven't seen them.
I ain't gonna lie. When I was in Eden a couple weeks ago,
yeah,
I did see. What's that guy's name? Da Vinci. Da Vinci is on BMF.
Oh,
Beach brother on BMF.
Southwest T.
Yeah, him.
Okay. Oh, he was here?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He had some little groupies with him. They weren't. They was white though. Some of them hate that for us. We're gonna talk about that later too. But anyway, yeah, and they said Blake Lively is gonna be moving here. Ryan Reynolds. I don't know if it's already happened yet, but apparently Blake Lively is actually like from Kannapolis.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to people moving back home. Growing your own.
But anyway, we aren't them.
We're not. You need to look out for us.
Right.
There's not a bunch of Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Blake Lively's moving out here, so.
The middle class. Look out for the middle class.
Is there a middle class in this point?
I don't know. That's a conversation for another day as well.
My fault.
You know how
we're gonna dial it back. But
I'm about to put my hood on this coat.
Yeah, I'm about to up this temperature a little bit. But man, let's get to the next part. Like what's going on in Charlotte. Kevin Hart will be here for his another tour. Acting My Age tour. He'll be here from January 17th to 19th. Will you be popping out?
I'm okay on that. I probably will just watch whenever it comes out on Netflix or something. I almost said DVD because I got Kevin Hart's own DVDs. But no, whenever it comes out on like YouTube or Netflix, I'll probably just run it then. But I like Kevin Hart. Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be cool for the uncles and aunties. It's probably a good little date night for them.
Nah, facts.
You know what I mean? But and maybe some young people, I don't know. But this Queen's Feast, Charlotte Restaurant Week.
I will be there.
Nah, you know me.
Yeah.
I love a good meal. I told you that's my love language.
I think it's becoming mine too. It's always been mine. As you can tell, I'm trying to get some of this weight off. But man, like I actually went on a couple dates. Well, me and my girl, we went on dates to the Queen Feast, like the Charlotte Week. Okay. And it was really fun. I think also what's really nice about it is that like it's what I hate sometimes, it's like one course, like it's like one set menu, but you pretty much pay like maybe $40, $50 and you get a lot of food. So you get like a appetizer, entrees, and like a dessert, and then a drink come with it too. I don't know, like I think last time we had like creme brulee. Oh my goodness. Have you ever had creme brulee?
When it comes to desserts, like milkshake, chocolate milkshake only. Okay.
See,
some sweet potato.
I need you to grow up.
And a cinnamon roll. Cinnamon, I mean. Talk to me. Other than that, I don't really care.
That's sick. You never had like tiramisu?
Yeah, I think I've tried it before. None of it tickles my fancy, okay? Like, I don't like cakes. Like, for my birthday, they not give me cakes.
Really?
No.
Oh, my goodness.
Like, my mom has been getting me little bros from mac and cheese cake down in Simpsonville. Have you had mac and cheese cake in Simpsonville? The next time you go home, you take too long to answer.
Mac and cheese
If you had it, you would remember.
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese cake.
Oh, no. Mac and cheese cake.
Yeah.
Mac and cheese cake.
Yeah.
Is there noodles in it?
Bro, you ain't listening. It's just play on words. It's all cheesecakes. See what I'm saying? You haven't had it. Next time you go home,
I was about to say it.
Ask your mama. I bet your mama been.
For real?
Ask her. I'm trying to tell you.
Mac and cheese cake. I love good cheesecake too.
It goes up over there.
Do they have like Oreo?
They got everything.
Red
yes.
milk?
All of that. Ooh. And I usually don't like those different type of flavors or whatever.
Yeah.
But I tried those at first. My mom was just raving about it. I'm like, Mom, it can't be that good. And it really was.
Sweet potato cheesecake?
Yeah, I don't know if they had that. But I'm telling you, this little bro I have make you want to slap your brother.
I'm about to try it. It's in Simpsonville.
Yeah, on Main Street.
I'm going.
Right, diagonal from the Carolina Fine Food. Like closer to my house.
Okay, I'm going. Yeah, it's done, dude. Mac and cheesecake, you will see me there soon. Really soon.
So, yeah, for our South Carolina people watching that's still in the Ville, Greenville, Simpsonville area, if y'all haven't been back at Cheesecake, this is a plug.
Yo, have you...
Take your butt on down there.
Random thought before we get back to Charlotte. Have you been to the Parlor on Lawrence Road? They have croissant donuts. Never knew they existed. I
don't like donuts, though.
You like croissants?
Yeah, I do like a croissant.
Croissant. You should... Well, I'm gonna bring one, and then I'll let you try that one.
Okay, that'll work.
Because I don't want you wasting your money.
I appreciate it. Look at you looking out for me.
Yeah. But anywho, let's get back. I mean, food got me hungry, but let's get to sports a little bit. It was going on in the Charlotte area. With LeBron James.
My man, my favorite guy. I actually wore my LeBron shirt today. It was his birthday earlier this week. Y'all can't see it's too damn cold in this house, but
I just turned it off.
When he became the all-time leading scorer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy birthday, LeBron.
Was that scorer or leading? Oh, that was scorer.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he will be in town and the Lakers will be in town versus the Hornets, January 27th.
Tickets high. I thought about, like, do I want to take myself?
You might have to just put that on a credit card.
I looked at the prices this morning and I was like, eh.
Are they like upwards of like $400, $500?
Yeah, but in the 200s. In the 100, it's like 600 pushing 7 almost. Man, I just went to the Hornets versus OKC game over the weekend. So I got to see my boy Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He did his thing, you know what I mean? They're playing the Knicks tonight, but prior to the Knicks, they had 113 straight. Hopefully they're able to pull it out tonight. But anyway, yeah, man. I'm getting ready for, like, whenever LeBron leaves, like, SGA is my second favorite player, so I'm just...
SGA is balling out right now.
MVP.
MVP for sure.
But yeah, man, if y'all got the funds, or if you're already going, love that for you. I'm going to live vicariously through you, but...
Or you can always go out and scout tickets, you know? There's always somebody like, hey, I got 2 for 10, 2 for 10. I would probably tell you to wait till, like, the second quarter. At that point, them tickets ain't worth anything. Just get you 2 good 100, like, sweet, like, tickets for, like, $50 a piece.
Good idea. Look at me.
Think about that.
Might need to do that.
But, man, let's go ahead, get up out the plug, man. This is where we discuss views, feelings, and thoughts that are happening within our society, especially as young professionals, young adults. I'm dealing with issues as it relates to mental health, maintaining relationships, and past traumas that affect our daily lives.
Yeah, man. So, speaking of, we decided this month we're going to rewatch some of Insecure. We'll see how far we get on this. But
yeah, we'll see how far we go.
We watched the first 2 episodes, and it's funny because we were talking about this earlier with our goals and stuff like that, but in these first 2 episodes, you see Issa and Molly's struggles with their jobs. And Issa's, a lack of passion for being what we got y'all, like trying to figure out how can I make a better impact, like why did I choose this job to begin with. And then with Molly, it's more so of just being a minority in the workplace, right? And still just like killing shit, but having to work so freaking hard to do it and not even being seen in the slightest, you know what I mean? So along with some other things that happened, but that in particular I think was important for us that we wanted to kind of talk about, because those are some things that we've discussed, with one another, and just kind of having some of those same feelings. I think mine is kind of like Issa's, where I'm feeling like very burnt out from the things that I've been doing for such a long time now, like going on, it was just 5 years of me starting my business. Last month, yeah. And so Dream Factory
plug
performance,
into that.
yeah, plug into that. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's taxing though. Right? Like running your own business, making a schedule, like training all these kids. Like you were doing everything. Like I've had employees, but now like they've all moved on to other things. Like some of them are playing professionally or whatever. Like I train them, but they also help me, and they're doing great things, and I'm proud of them. But it's tough when you got to do it yourself. You know what I mean? So I think for me, I'm just getting to a point where it's like, all right, I think it's time for me to kind of step into some other type of role or kind of change the model of my business. So I'm thinking of a lot of different things I'm trying to do, and
So I remember us having conversations about you like possibly going into like more of a consulting role, moving out of like that training and consulting.
So funny enough, I just did a seminar last month, actually, first one.
Oh, that's what's up.
I called it the Open Run. So you go to an open run if you were like just at a pickup game or whatever, just getting a good run in,
right?
Or whatever. So it was an open run for coaches. So we had like 5 or 6 coaches on the call, and we just kind of went through some in-season highs and lows that could happen, right?
Okay.
And so I had some different talking points or whatever, and we just did it via Zoom on Sunday afternoon, and it was really dope. So I think they all enjoyed it. It was very collaboratory, interactive. So I plan to do it again this month, and I'm just going to try to keep it rolling. But I've had, some consulting clients and stuff like that, but just trying to grow that business because I'd rather do that. Like, I love coaching, and that's why I got back into AAU. But I think I just want to be on the court less.
I can see that.
And, actually, not think I know I want to be on the court less.
And I think that, like, I know you were talking about it earlier with your, like, goals. Like, I think definitely getting into your PMP. That can help you with, like, Scrum and, like, agility or Agile. Yeah. And being able to, like, work within those processes to, like, grow your business so that you can move out of that being in the weeds every day. Right. And kind of doing a bit more of that overseeing and doing those open forums. I think that would be dope. Because there's some leadership roles that play a part into a PMP. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and there's so much relatable things, you know what I mean? Or relatable skills that kind of go in both, So as I read up more and more about it and, what it all entails, I'm like, this is something that I can do. Because right now, it's like adulting just sucks for real. I enjoy the freedom that I have with, scheduling, whatever, because everything kind of just starts and ends with me. But at the same time, I'm like, man, I got to do something different. I need to feel motivated to do some other things. So I guess, like, I know you kind of harped on some of the things that you are working towards. Mm-hmm. But, like, when you wake up in the morning, what is it that you want to do exactly? Because I know you have your hand in, like, consulting at this point. You have your hand in training, like, our future, like, college players, athletes. Too. Yeah, adults. But you also have, like, your own vending machine company. So, like, what do you want? What do you want to do? I mean, that's actually one of my goals, too, is either changing I think that's what I want to do first, is change the location of where my vending machine is. Okay. But then also adding another one. Like, scaling the business, because it's in a pretty good location right now because, to be honest, I don't have to, like, give anything off the top or whatever, which is nice. Well, you're not going to really get that. But I also need it to be a place where there's a lot more foot traffic happening. You know what I mean? But it's still been, something great to just have, on the side. But like I said, just when I want to scale it a little bit more. But to better answer your question, like, when I wake up and I think about it, like, what do I want to do? I think that's what I'm trying to figure out. That's why I got into looking at the project management certifications. Like, I know I still want to do something where it's, like, leadership based, but I want to dial back from just truly being in the trenches of, like, training. It's very taxing on the body and just long days, long hours. Like, I envy the people sometimes that are, like, home by 5 and 6 o'clock. No. During this holiday break, I've been able to just, like, jam pack my schedule because kids aren't in school and be done earlier. And I'm like, man, people get to do this all the time. This is crazy. I get mad when I see some people when I go to the coffee shop around like 12 o'clock and they're just chilling on their computers. Yeah. And it's like they just kind of like they do a little bit of work and then they just sit back and talk to their friends. I'm like, man, I wish I had a job like that. But, man, it seemed like I think that one thing that we all, like, I realized that we don't, what I appreciate about when I asked you the question, like, what do you want to do? You're like, I'm still trying to figure that out. Mm-hmm. I think that, like, a lot of times, like, when we look at our parents, like, they didn't have a choice but to, like, have a plan. You know what I'm saying? And now we're kind of in that space of, like, all right, we are our parents' age when they had us, and we are okay with saying we don't have a plan. Yeah. Now, counted, we don't have kids, we don't have, those responsibilities. But I can honestly say that, like, I'm kind of in that space, too, of, like, I don't know what I want to do next. Like, I've worked within, like, accounting since I got out of school in 2021. And I'm not even going to lie to y'all, man. I've worked for 2 Big 4 accounting firms. I've worked for Krispy Kreme and their internal audit. And I've worked for one of the big banks here in Charlotte. And it's not because I get fired. Like, I'm just one of those ones where it's like, I don't like it. I'm leaving. And when I leave, I'm getting paid more money. And I'm not proud of that. I'm always making vertical leaps, but at the same time, I'm not really keeping my feet, like, set in a place and learning the culture and moving through that ladder. Just because it's a situation where I don't really like what I do. I'm good at what I do. I'm a really good talker, as you can tell, as you already know. It's not hard for me to pick up on, like, numbers. Like, my mom was very much a numbers person. I kind of took after her background. My dad is somewhat of a numbers person as well and a people person, so I kind of picked up on that. But like when someone asks me what I want to do, like I know I've talked to you, I'm like, oh, I want to go to this school, I want to do this, I want to do that. I'm not even sure if I really even want to go to school, like
and go through all that again.
You know what I mean? I've thought about going to law school because like, oh, I thought that's what I wanted to do to make more money. But then it's like, what if I get my degree after 3 years and realize, man, this sucks too, you know?
Right.
So
I think that's the scary part too, is just like the leap of actually doing something different. And I think that's something like people don't think about. And it kind of just hit me like when you were saying it, I'm like, damn, I think about that a little bit, but then like you don't want the fear to really creep into your head, but like it's a little bit of that. Like I'll be like going hard searching the freedom that I have. You know what I mean? Like certain people have to be like, oh, I gotta tell my boss, I gotta take. I'm like, me, I am the boss. So I just, you do what you want. I can do what I want. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, damn, I still feel like there's something else out there. There's something else better. But it's like, what's the best way to go about figuring that out?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think like what we're doing, even with this pod, like that's kind of where I've gotten to a point where I'm just like, you know, this is like us taking a leap of faith to see where it goes. You know what I mean?
And it's truly like our outlet.
It's our outlet to kind of like talk about what we want to talk about, but also see how far we can push it within this area.
Right.
But like I said before, like I don't really know. I know like if I talk to like my parents about it, my mom about it, she's very much in the vein of like, Cameron, you got to go back to school. You got to get your degree. You need to show as a young black man that you have like the credentials to do the things that you want to do. And like going to get an MBA or another master's, like to specialize in something that you know you want to do. But it's like, I don't know exactly what it is that I want to do.
But to be honest, does that mean as much anymore? Like,
it doesn't.
I feel like getting a certification is just as good, if not better sometimes, than getting another degree.
Yeah, and that's another thing is that
more cost effective too.
With me working in accounting, most naturally everyone said I need to get my CPA, become a certified public accountant. Right. Oh my goodness, like I think I have nightmares about that. It's 4 exams. Sheesh. And once you pass that first test, you have a year and a half, I want to say. Mm-hmm. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. To like pass all 4 of them. So the moment you pass the first one, your clock starts. Within a year and a half, you need to pass all 4. Then you have to have like CPE training, so many different things to like become like get your CPA. And I've heard so many like death or nightmare like stories about people getting them, and like people literally passing 3, failing the last one, and then like if they meet on that deadline and it like lapse, they gotta take those like tests over again.
All of them?
I think it's like one, like I think so. Sheesh. So like there's been moments you really do. So you have to really commit yourself. But the only thing is you have to pass it's like a 70%. Like you just need a 70%. If you get 70%, it's not bad, but it's a lot of information. And the tests change from year to year. But long story less long. I'm not sure if I want to take that route either. I think I could tell you I don't think that I'm good at working in corporate, but I'm not sure if the corporate structure is for me. Only because that almost like what Molly feels like when you watch those first couple of episodes when she's trying to assimilate into that world, like I think she did it a lot better than I do, and I think a lot of black women, like shout out to y'all, like I've seen a lot of black women move and groove in those spaces. Not saying that black men can't. I've seen men thrive in that as well. But like Molly, like as we go on watching this, if we continue to talk about it or not, like one thing I can't commend her on is that she works so hard. Yeah. But I feel like sometimes we work so hard to get maybe a third of the recognition that we deserve when we're in those positions.
Anytime I hear that, I think about in Scandal. Did you ever watch that show?
Yeah.
When her dad, Papa Pope,
Bro had some
when
of
they
the
were
most
in the
cinematic, like
with the airplane speeches in the background, and he was just going in on her about that. And I wish I could, quote that word for word, but I just thought about that when you were saying that. Like, but it's so true. But I think with black women though, and like we said this a couple pods ago, is like black women are so analytical. They are. How they move. Men sometimes, and calculated. Yes, very calculated how they move, and men can be very ego-driven in how they move, right? I think in those spaces, that is why some of those things happen. You know what I mean?
I can see that.
And with the black women being such at the bottom of the totem pole of everybody, like they have no choice, like you just said. You know what I mean? Like they have to move in that way.
And I also think when you have that drive of knowing that like people are like counting you out.
Yeah.
I love when you count me out.
I knew those. I was thinking the same thing. I was going to hit it too if you didn't.
But like. With being counted out, like so many times in like history, get along like now. I think it's important that like we realize that people that have that motivation, that drive to know like, hey, look, you telling me I can't do it, I'm a hold my beer, please. I'm gonna show you and like excel. I just think it's my biggest issue on this is I'm going on a tangent, but I'm gonna reel it back in. I just wish that we could like have our own. And I had a conversation like over like break. We were talking about W.E.B. Du Bois or Du Bois, or however you want to say it, and Booker T. Washington, and how you feel. Du Bois was talking about essentially like the talented tenth, like bringing up people, and then like Booker T. Washington, essentially saying like we need to start our own industries, work with them, but make sure we stay separate to like build our own. I see a lot of us like we work so hard for other corporations. We make a lot of money for corporations, but we don't really build within our communities and build for ourselves. And that's something that like I love the fact that you've started your own. I know you're getting a little burned out, but I commend you for that because like you have started your own black business, sis, and that's something that potentially when you have kids, like you will be able to hand something down, you know. And I think I'm getting to a point like at 32, like I'm tired of putting my blood, sweat, and tears into somebody else's dream. And like I have like ideas, you know, I love to cook. I'm like, man, like the barbershop, you know how I used to be a whole bunch of people coming in the barbershop just selling stuff. Yeah. I ain't trying to be the jack of lot seller, you feel me? But like an idea I had like in my mind, I'm like, don't take my ideas for real. But if you do, it's cool. But like, you know, like some people that love to cook, like at lunchtime, like make a couple like plates or whatever and take them to the barbershops, like have them do like pre-orders or something like that. Right. I think like it'd be small things like that that can turn into something big. Right. Or it's like a corner store right down the street. Every time I pass it, I think to myself like, why not just buy it and like revitalize this area? And then like when I'm like 70 and I might kick the bucket at like 80, I could leave this to like my son or my grandson or my daughter if they want to run it. Right. But you know, a lot of that goes with fear. I'm like, oh, the failure and like all the debt that got to come with it.
Yeah, but also there's a lot of work that has to go into it too.
I agree.
And then it's like trusting the people that you bring along the journey with you to do it with you, right? And carry out and be just as committed as you are. So I think that's a hard part too. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think, you know, like I referred to this earlier, like the staff that I've had is like very, very trustworthy. And so I've tried to hire since then, but it's been very hard for me to be like, yes. You know, like I'm very much of a feeler. So if something don't feel right in my spirit, I'm not doing it. Yeah. I'm not rocking with it. And it's going to just fester in me. You know what I mean? So it's like, if it don't sit right with me, I just can't do it. So that's why I still just been me. Like I was going to hire somebody in the fall, and I'm like, I'm going to thug it out. let me think about this a little bit longer.
You know, that spirit of discernment is very important.
I pray for it every day.
Because like one thing what people can get into is like because they feel like they need it now, they'll rush. Right. They'll rush right into it. And that's why I've been really big on not trying to like apply for like different like other roles at this point in my like life. Like I'm where I'm at now, I feel pretty good. I love the people I work with. But even with like schools, like I know like at one point I was thinking about going to law school and I like paid all this money, like just sporadically jumped into like about to take the LSAT, studied a little bit. And during that I was like, Cameron, do you really want to do this? And I think if I would have had that come to Jesus moment and like processing and like analyzing everything before I just paid that money, because it's a lot of money to like sign up for the LSAC, like get an account and all this other stuff. Right. And then you got to take the test, and then you got to apply for like law schools, and then that's like not even thinking of application fees. Mm-hmm. That's not even thinking about going to visit these schools and all this other stuff. And I was like, do I really want to put myself through this for like 3 years of my life and like leave? I love making money right now, and I'm not saying money is the end all be all, but when you have been making money for a couple of years and then you have to go back to living like a college student, I've done it because I was in the Navy, went from making money to going back to school. Then I'm like thinking about doing it again where I'm making a bit more money than I was making in the Navy. And I live a completely different life now, so it's just...
And you're also older too, so there's a lot that goes into that. Yeah. So you're thinking about family, kids, all these different things. It's so expensive to have a kid. Like I was just talking to one of my friends, she was telling me something about like her kids and some of these expenses, and I'm like, I hear you venting, I'm listening to you, but all I can gather from this conversation is I'm still not ready to have a kid.
Yo, you know, legit, I told myself when it was time for me to have a kid, I was like, yo, we need to stack our bread up. I said, then we'll quit our jobs and then get on like Medicare. and then we'll have a kid because they'll pay for it. Then we'll get WIC, we'll get that, and then we'll get our jobs back. It wouldn't be that easy.
Yeah, my friend just had a baby. She's in Sweden.
Yeah.
She's gay. So they actually paid for her first kid. Chill out, bro. Way too much. But I say this to say, you know, they had to do IVF kid, and basically the first kid was free. She spent like $31. Yeah, she spent like $31 in a hospital visit. I could be wrong on that, but like it was less than $100 for sure.
I was gonna say, how long do you need to live in Sweden to have a kid in Sweden?
I should ask her that. It's cold over there though. I haven't been, but from what I've seen, it's just so different over there. But I think that plays a part into our mindset when we're making these drastic changes. Because changing a career or job, whatever, it's a drastic change.
It is
fear the unknown of like what really makes sense for you.
You know what pisses me off about having kids is the fact that literally, why are you making us pay for a kid? It's God's gift to earth. I'm sorry, I know you went on, but it was festering in me, so I had to say that.
No, I get it. Adulting gets hard, man, because if you were to have a kid too, I can only imagine how much harder it is. Like, you got to care for another human being. Like, it's hard enough for me parenting a dog. I can imagine having a kid too, because King is a lot. Let me tell you, it's like having a kid for real.
Not for real.
I'm like, sheesh. You got to feed him. You got to take him outside, take him to the vet, and it's like, I mean, what is he bringing into the household?
What do you bring to the table, Kodak? Like, you know, my dog literally, like, I have one rule for my dog of many. Don't go in the kitchen.
Same.
Yeah.
He don't care, bro.
You know,
or he cares, but like he'll stand right on the outside, like just tiptoeing the line.
Bro.
It's like, King, you still too close, my boy.
Let me tell you. So every time I start cooking or go into the refrigerator or something like that, guess what Kodak does? He runs out his crate and just stands there. So I was making carnitas, which was an epic fail today because I burned it.
Yeah, I was looking forward to that.
You can smell it coming in the house?
No.
I could. I was pissed. But, anywho, so, like, some of it fell.
He was ready.
Okay. Maybe I'm a little paranoid. But, yeah, so, like, some of it fell. So I, like, took it off the ground, I threw it to him or whatever, let him, like, eat it. But he's still waiting right there by the refrigerator. Mm-hmm. So I'm going upstairs to go back to work. Bro usually follows me everywhere in the house. He's laying there as if, like, I'm still cooking. I look at him, I say, what are you doing? He just looks, and I'm, like, walking upstairs, and I realize he doesn't move. Come back down, he's about to step into it. I was like, right! Dogs are just like, they think they're smart.
They do. They know what they be doing.
They really do.
I've learned that about King, too. Yeah, your dog's well trained, though. King, he don't listen to me.
We paid a good bit of money to try to train him, and he still do what he wants to do. That dog don't play. But, you know, this was a really good conversation. I know we got off tangent because of me. That's all.
That's okay. It played a part in it because, you know, the money we bringing in from work going to these damn dogs.
Nah, for real. And we get that. We get Kodak, like, literally some, like dog food. Yeah. Like $58, like, per, like.
Same. And then I got to get this little stew to go on top of it so he'll eat and everything.
For real?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
my dog.
Bougie dog.
He's a bougie boy.
Bougie dog.
He's a bougie boy, you know. Small little thing. But
yeah. I always call small dogs alert dogs, though.
Yeah, he be barking.
They be barking. Kodak looks like he'll look like he'll do something, but he's like the nicest dog you ever meet.
King act like he about it for real. He only 15 pounds. But that's why I tell people, I named him after LeBron, right? King James, King, hello. You know, small guy with a big heart.
Dang, I like that. I like Doc Smart.
That's my boy.
Nah, Kodak got his name from Kodak Black.
I figured that.
Yeah.
I love Lily, yeah.
But man,
that's how I go, bro. That's really how I go. But this was a good conversation. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to what we're going through as far as jobs are just being burnt out or just feeling like what you're doing isn't enough right now. But don't worry, God's got a plan for you. We're gonna figure it out together. All right.
Take your time, man. Just know you got to take the leap. Just like we did with this, we're doing with this. Right. We took the leap. You know, I was very much like, hey, man, let's just keep playing. She was like, no, we're shooting the pod today. That pod never came out because somebody didn't press record.
Yeah, I was like, we're putting it out. We had this, but we were like, we're putting it out. But I think we got to take some of those leaps in other parts of our lives, too. So that is our challenge to one another, to hold each other accountable to that. And
stay with us.
Stay with us, yeah. And then, you know, same with you guys. Find somebody that can be an accountability partner for you. And, we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna be alright.
Could you? I can't even say it. I almost stuttered. But all right, it's time to unplug and step right into off the grid. Let's break away and let's go ahead and go into sports. It's gonna be real short and real brief. I'm not gonna bore y'all out, but shout out to Simone Biles. Yeah. Being what is it? Times 2024 Sports Person of the Year.
Yeah. So she killed the Olympics. I think everybody was mesmerized by what she was able to do through injury at that. You know what I mean? I think she really inspired the rest of her team and showed great leadership in that capacity. So, I think not only just her team, but inspired other people within the USA teams. What I mean? Competing. So, shout out to her. Hopefully, one day I can rub up on those Bears and her husband, Jonathan Owens, one of these days. But,
they'll figure it out. They got a nice little young squad, but shout out Simone Biles, man. We want to give you your flowers while you're here, Yeah.
And staying on female athletes, we've been talking about women's college basketball each week, so want to just kind of go through the top 5 that was released because all of these teams are about to enter conference play where things get a lot tougher. Yep. So number 1, UCLA, who remains undefeated, and then coming in second is South Carolina, who has a big game next Sunday in Columbia against Texas. And then they just announced too that last night Don Staley got her 200th SEC win.
Fellow Philly fan.
And Don we trust. She does a tremendous job and has them playing at a high level right now. So I'm excited for that showdown against Texas. The SEC just looks so different this year, and it's going to be a dog fight throughout the whole course of the season. So I'm excited for that. Third is Notre Dame. They have a big game this Sunday, which will be on TV against number 17 UNC at 1 o'clock. That should be a great battle. I'm taking Notre Dame though because they have the best backcourt in the country in my opinion. I say that, but the way South Carolina play, I ain't even gonna get into all of that yet. I'm not gonna get into all that yet. But Hannah Hidalgo, Olivia Miles, Citron, the list goes on, and they're not even fully healthy yet. So
I already told you this year I'm a Notre Dame fan. Hidalgo has my heart. I think she might as well be the MVP of the league. Have I watched one game? I have not. But I watched the highlights.
Watch that game on Sunday.
Okay, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I will have a recap of what happens on Sunday.
Golly.
Actually, because
the best game that's coming on Sunday, because I know you're about to talk about football, is the Lions and the Vikings. That's at 8:20. Watch this game at 1 o'clock. And then number 4 is Southern Cal. And Juju, shout out to her. And then they have a big
points the other night.
They have a big game this week against number 8 Maryland. Mm-hmm. On Wednesday, and I'm not gonna lie, Maryland surprised me how good they are this year. So Brandon Freese has them rolling over there, so I'm looking forward to watching that battle. Okay. And then number 5 is Texas right now, who's also in the SEC along with South Carolina. I told you the SEC is like that.
It's lit.
And I just watched Texas beat number 9 Oklahoma in the SEC opener last night. And that was a really, really good game. And so,
a rivalry game, isn't it?
Yeah, because they both were in the Big 12 too prior to. So, looking forward to just seeing these teams compete in the upcoming week. And then you were asking me too about some of the sleepers I had for this year. Oklahoma is actually one. They were in a great position to win that game last night against Texas. They just had some turnovers and some really some unforced turnovers that caused them to lose that game. And so I bet they're going to have a great film session today. Okay. And then I think Michigan is a young team, but I've enjoyed watching them and how hard they play. And they got some scores on that team. Okay. They gave South Carolina some fits actually earlier in the year. And Florida State is one too.
Really?
The kid, what's her name? I always forget her name, man. She had 40 the other night against Virginia Tech, and she's freaking killing it right now. And so she's just so freaking tough, bro. People just do not talk about her enough. Tanaya Latson, that's it. Yeah.
Tanaya
Latson. Okay. Yeah, and she's from Georgia, but man, she's freaking good. Okay. And she's a hooper. Everybody talks about, Juju, Paige, Hannah, but this girl right here is a dog. If y'all haven't seen Florida State play, watch this kid right here.
What's her name? Tanaya what?
Tanaya Latson.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I got some homework.
A true scorer.
Okay.
So yeah. That rounds out the top 5, but I look forward to, watching them, like I said. But then I sent you this earlier in the week. Let's go to WNBA, right?
I'm listening.
So Jeff Teague has a podcast.
The funniest podcaster right now.
He is very funny. I love watching his clips. Right,
yeah.
Anytime they come up on my Twitter timeline or X, whatever y'all want to call it these days.
His whole podcast is funny. Everyone on that podcast.
I've yet to watch a full episode, but I need to. Yeah, I need to.
I watched it.
But I just watched different clips that pop up. Yeah. And so one of them, I saw my girl Asia Wilson mention. I was like, oh, He's like, she can't beat an NBA player. She couldn't beat a G League player. And the way he was just going so hard about it, I felt a way about that. And
why do you feel a way?
Because, I get they're super athletic, they're strong, like you like to say, but I don't give a damn, like Chris Tucker said, because no, but I've seen women beat men. I don't care. I don't care about none of that. And I know I'm biased.
In one-on-one?
Yes.
Okay.
I know I'm biased. Don't give a damn. Like I just said, Wilson could beat somebody in the damn G League. Now, he was like, she can't beat anybody on the NBA, not even the bench players, not a G League or whatever. Okay, maybe not on the bench. Maybe she could.
But I'm gonna tell you why I say
she could definitely beat somebody in G League. I think
G League maybe, but you remember that dude Brian Scalabrine? The white dude. They used to play. He used to play for the Bulls. He didn't play. He really sat on the bench. But I saw videos of him playing against regular ball players in a rec, and he was giving them boys buckets.
Okay, so you really think you just said at the rec? You know who Asia Wilson is?
No, she's a professional.
She is a 3-time MVP.
Yeah.
She's a national champion.
But
she's not just some scrub off at the Y.
But even Kelsey Plum, her point guard, went on to another podcast. I sent you that one. Did I send that to you?
No, yeah, but go ahead though. You told me about it though. We talked about it.
I did tell you about it.
Yeah.
She essentially said that she didn't. She thought that in a skills I guess competition, women could dominate. Well, not really dominate, but they have a chance to win.
Yeah, no more.
But she was like, but when it comes, I think the women's game is a bit more skilled than men. Well, American men. I mean, I think a lot of the American men. I'm gonna try to come back. But a lot of the American men are a bit more athletic than they are skilled at this point, especially when you compare them to European, their European counterparts.
It's because of the upbringing and just Europeans they value skill. They're gonna spend more time during the week doing that and then play less games.
Yeah.
While over here they just want to show up games and throw. Exactly. And then they wonder why these kids can't make good decisions and not skilled and basketball. Last night watching Oklahoma and Texas, both of them had 20 plus turnovers. Y'all are Power 5 Division 1 athletes. There is no reason. I get Texas has one of the best defenses in the country, but turning over the ball 26 times?
That's insane.
That's insane.
But to get back on it, because I know I appreciate the fact that we're going on these tangents now. But
I'm supposed to keep you on task.
Nah, you're supposed to keep me on task for real. But Kelsey Plum, she was pretty much saying one-on-one, she does see a difference in physicality and athleticism in playing versus a man. She said she thinks that they would be able to score, but as far as being able to stop someone at that, for example, being able to stop someone at her size, given that
she can't. But she went in the conversation. He said, "Listen,
I think if Asia played Bam, Bam would kill it, punish."
I didn't say she could beat Bam.
I think if she
said she could beat a G Leaguer.
All right, G Leaguer Michael Beasley. She could beat Michael Beasley.
Yeah, he won.
You're sick.
Oh, Wait, we talking about Michael Beasley that used to play for
the Heat.
Yeah, with the nice
light
eyes.
skin, yeah.
Yeah, now
Michael Beasley would cook her, respectfully.
Well,
I think Bronny or somebody like that. I think she could beat Bronny. Yeah. Bryce, she could beat Bryce. She might be.
Bryce isn't in the G League, but yeah. I mean,
hey, shout out Bryce for the Arizona commitment, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to him. We love LeBron's kids.
Yeah,
but yeah, she could beat Bronny. I think she could beat some guys in the G League. I don't care. I'm gonna say we can do a poll. We can put this shit out here.
We're gonna put a poll. We're gonna do a poll
because I think she can. I might be crazy, but I'm a believer.
That's tough.
I'm a believer. But he brought that up because on Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart podcast, she said she would beat Josh Hart. He was like, "Whoa, no." But I'm like,
she wouldn't beat Josh Hart. Josh Hart is probably one of the.
He's a good defender. He's a good defender.
He can shoot though. He has a nice. I think when we think about.
She has length. She can guard.
She's slow.
Who's slow? You don't watch Women's Basketball now. I can't have this conversation with you. Exactly. I can't have this conversation with you.
I'm just saying stuff to bait you.
And it's how much
rage bait.
Yeah, man. I'm not falling for that with you.
You can see it she just
That's why I had to say. I'm like, I forgot who I was talking to. Like, you just make me mad. Like,
I just be trying to like rev up the energy a little bit.
See what I'm saying? That's what guys do. Like, y'all just be saying shit.
Nah, but I will say,
we think it through over here.
Nah, I just be like, let's see how far I can take
right.
it. But I will say, man, I mean, it's good conversation, but at the end of the day, like, we need to be trying to build up the women's like league right now.
Yeah, I think he was going mad hard. That's my biggest issue. I
think Jeff I think bro doesn't have like a filter. I think he very much like what he says, what he say. Like, I don't think he has any malice behind what he says. I think that he has all the respect for the women in the league, but he's just speaking his perspective. I think that
I think his girl pissed him off before. He was going too hard. He was like, no, wait, she ain't being that. She ain't being.
I think, bro.
A little bit.
I think it's. I don't disagree with what he said, but at the same time, I don't think he meant malice. I don't think he meant malice in what he said. But
I want to know how Asia feel. Somebody get Asia on the line. How did Asia feel about what he said?
This right here. Asia probably gonna like have this on rewind, like while she's practicing. She's about to kill her.
Right. She might average 40. Out of the league now, sitting down. I'm still getting checks. She might
average like what the stilt numbers or like what is it, Cheryl Miller?
I mean, she already
Cheryl Miller numbers
led like every statistical category this past season. You know, she's about to be back on the bench because they ain't finished the job.
She might be LeBron for real.
She ain't no Mike. She is the LeBron of the league. I'm trying to tell you that.
Nah, I get it to you.
Thank you.
I get it to you.
Y'all heard it here.
Yeah.
Finally.
But man, let's just try to grow the game. Like right now, this is like this is the peak of like the notoriety that's been given to the women's basketball game, like college and NBA or WNBA. So let's try to grow it. Let's try to support it.
Yeah, watch some games, Negro.
Yeah, I'm watching the Notre Dame game at 1:00. Yeah.
Don't try to dap me up. Watch the games and then I dap you up. How about that?
You know what's crazy? I talk so hard. I go home so hard for CC. Did not watch her game last year either.
What is this?
Perpetrator.
What is this?
Man, let's jump.
Let's get into what you actually watch.
Man, let's get into like the college football playoffs, man, specifically. So if you were watching I didn't talk about it last week. I was a little butthurt. My Tigers didn't make it. Tigers didn't make it, guys. But
we're so surprised. Oh man.
But you know, at least
Dabo's team went down.
You know, you better be glad I told my mom I went cussing. Doing good. But
Randy, because I have.
No, I think I done said something. I just don't notice it.
Okay.
The team that beat us, Texas, they were able to get a win over who was it? Arizona? It's Arizona State.
Arizona.
Hey man, Skatebo, you might be the next great white hope. You know, CMC came in, he did his thing. Now I'm looking for you to come in and show us black running backs that you know how to run that toe.
Shout out to him on Arizona State, but I got my horns up because, or is that Wolfpack I just did?
Nah, horns up.
Horns up. Because, you know the head coach for Texas is married to a black woman. We love that. She bad too, boy. She bad. And listen, this is what they said. This is what they said though. Listen, check me out.
But I don't think he's fully like.
Check me out. When it was out there that maybe they was breaking up whatever, they had lost a game or something.
Yeah.
He got back with her. My boy been winning ever since. It's something about having a black woman beside you. Not behind you, but beside you. Oh, Nick D.
Anywho.
Shout out to her.
Hey man, no, she's a beautiful woman, beautiful black queen, man. When I seen her, I said, oh yeah. That's why Arch Manning and those quarterbacks and like everyone on the team boys got a little sauce on them. You know what I'm saying? Got a little sprinkle of that
because he must got a little sauce to him.
Little Carolina gold, you know what I'm saying?
Hey.
But man, Texas, they're in the lead. They're in the semifinals playing against Ohio State. Them boys were able to molly. Yeah, they were able to mollywop Oregon. Got them up out of here.
Yeah. That's overall number one seed too.
All the top seeds like got ousted.
Yeah, right now
so it's crazy. Texas, Ohio State. Then we move over to the other side where we got this is the first time in the college football playoff history where we have two black coaches who may not be a little.
Marcus Freeman from Notre Dame looks black. I was today.
His name is James Franklin. Have you ever met a white Franklin? Or James?
Ben Franklin.
James? Hold on, James Franco. God dang it.
James could be white too.
That's what I said, James Franco.
Either way, When I saw the Penn State coach, because I heard him do an interview the other day, I could have sworn that was him. Yeah, that was him. Yo. He didn't look black. But, hey, I'm going to take your word for it. Nah. But both of them are married to white women.
They are. But you know what's crazy is James Franklin back in 20... Oh, we don't get praise for marrying white women, but they get praise for... White men get praise for marrying black women. Respect.
That's just how it go. Because what Kanye say? And when they get on, they leave your ass for a white woman. That's what they said.
Anywho. This guy, James Franklin, I don't know if anyone knows it. I remember it because I was like, do you remember this? You're like, nah, I don't. James Franklin used to have a hot wife rule where he would look at his assistant coaches' wives, and if they weren't hot, no, he said if they looked D1, then he would hire them. They had to look a certain caliber.
I get the logic.
Be of a certain caliber.
I get the logic.
He want coaches with confidence.
Not only that, but if you can recruit that, you could probably recruit some good players. You know what good looks like. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I get the thought process. Like if I was a coach, like if I were to go back to college coaching, and I become a head coach, I would probably take on that rule. What's your spouse look like?
Yo.
You know, what's your swag like?
Don't chop this up.
You know what I mean? Because it's like
it's gonna be a whole nother article.
It's like Coach Valentine used to say this to us all the time. We was growing up playing AAU. Shut up.
Yeah.
That is the
Alabama State.
So shout out to Coach B. That's like another dad to me right there. But
nah, facts.
He used to say, "Look good, feel good, play good." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everybody take on that phrase now, but that's who I first heard it from.
Yeah.
And so I get it. If your spouse look good, your partner look good, you're doing something right.
Nah, facts. And you know the
like
first
the
time
Texas coach, it all comes full circle.
You know, I used to work out with Coach Valentine too. The first time I went there to go work out, he used to put these little bungee jumps on your. You remember?
Oh yeah.
First time I went over there and worked out, when he put these little bungee jumps, he had to do ladders and stuff. But
he's always yelling at me, "You slow as fried ice."
Man, I remember the first time I went to work out.
Fried ice was at that point.
Yo,
I never had it.
Anytime I went to a Mexican restaurant for my birthday, I always got fried ice cream.
Yeah, I was like, what?
This is ice cream with a tortilla fried on top.
Yeah, I know what it is, now, but I'm saying when he first told me, and then he just never let it go. He just said, "Sierra, you slow as fried ice cream."
But how is ice cream slow? Like really,
that was all of our
with the tortilla covering the ice cream. You can't see if it's like melting slow or fast.
Listen, don't question Coach Valentine. That's all I can tell you.
That's
boy.
No, I remember the first time I worked out with him, man. I threw up. Like literally had to go into his like office and lay down, drink little like chocolate like insurance or something like that.
I take pride in the fact that I have not ever in my life thrown a bathtub workout.
You know, the first workout, anytime I'm always gonna pass out. It doesn't matter what. The first time I ever work out, I'm gonna pass out, and then the next time I'm good. I don't know why. God just made me that way. But yeah, Penn State, Notre Dame, they're playing as well. This will be next week. So tune into those two games, man. At this point, I don't have a dog in the fight. I had Clemson winning, then when they lost, I had Oregon winning, and then they got blew out. So at this point, I'm just here to watch good football. I do want one of the black coaches to win. So one of those two, I just want them in the national championship to win.
But Marcus Freeman, that's a great looking man.
He is a handsome man. Nope.
He is. He's a great looking man.
Pause it up.
But he's a great looking man. Beautiful family.
With James Franklin, I wish, if I have to go bald, I look like him too. A little couple shades longer.
I need to look at him again, because that just really, while I'm at it.
I'm just saying, the black coaches are winning. I mean, of course, we would want them with, women that look like them, maybe a little shade, like a shade or two darker, but we love to see black men, being successful, doing great things in the sports world. We want to keep it like that. But, I do want to touch on Ashton Jeanty. Penn State played Boise State in the second round.
His mom's name is Jocelyn. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm really fascinated by the James Franklin thing. He's definitely
Jocelyn,
black.
I'm about to say Jocelyn is black.
Yeah, he's definitely black.
Yo, met a white Lamar this week. Crazy. I promise you. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Bro's legit a redneck. Had a big beard. His son had a mullet with the sides cut off. He said, "Yeah, my name's Lamar."
I'm weak.
For real.
It was
a girl I met. It was a girl I dated before. Her name was I'm not doing that. But her nephew name was Jerome. I'm just saying, we're coming up. But anywho, want to give a shout out to Ashton Jeanty, man. Even though you fell 28 yards short of the season rushing record, beating Barry Sanders, man, you had a really great season. Hopefully, you do not go to the Dallas Cowboys. They need running backs. We want you to go somewhere else outside of our division, preferably. But man, that takes us into NFL. Keep it rolling. The playoffs are approaching. Last week of the NFL regular season. I feel like the season went by fast.
It flew.
Yeah, I feel like
it's been a great season.
It has been a great season.
This is like one of the best NFL seasons I can remember for a while because truly, like, I was having this conversation with people the other day, like, you got to be really concerned of, like, dang, what's going to happen with my team because the playoffs are going to be tough this year. Like, I'm a Chiefs fan. I'm nervous. Like, I'm not like, oh, yeah, we definitely get to the Super Bowl.
You haven't played the best, like, you haven't played your best game yet.
I agree, but I'm saying, like, you still have to think about the Eagles. Think about the Ravens, the Lions, the Vikings, the Packers. These teams are good.
The Bucks
the Bills
are really good. The Bills, you got the Ravens.
I mean, it's
Steelers,
just tough out, and then the Bengals can still possibly make the playoffs.
Ooh.
You don't, the Bengals.
That's the team that y'all don't want to play.
I don't want to see them at all.
If he won 10 games, Joe Shiesty would be.
Should we just like throw this game this weekend against the Broncos so the Broncos can win, so the Bengals can be out? You know what I mean? Because I mean, Patrick Mahomes isn't playing. Chris Jones doesn't play either.
I think all of your starters are gonna like sit out.
Yeah, well, they already said Pat was out, so.
But then again, I'm gonna tell you the thing that I worry about with like getting that first round bye. If you sit them out this game,
they're used to it though. We go for this shit. That's what we do.
You sit them out this game.
That's what we do. I ain't trying to hear this.
You have 2 weeks that you're sitting out, so you gotta be careful about that. Maybe play them like preseason, like play them like their first drive just to get a little, and then like. But nah, man, I will say both of our teams did well as expected. I thought that y'all would lose a bit more games, how close y'all played, but I'm a hater. I had no expectations watching the Eagles play this year, and every time I have no expectations, we do well. And not to mention, every year that we win 13 games, we go to the Super Bowl in the last like 5-10 years. So
do y'all win the Super Bowl though, or
we won one? We won one in 2016. So.
But do y'all just like
we got one?
So you just attend?
We got one. We won one.
How many has the Chiefs had in the last few years?
2.
All right.
When we go to the MVP race, we have the two head honchos. I'm not letting you do this to me. You see, I got mind control over Debo.
Okay.
But
mind my business.
we got Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. You know, Joe Shiesty. He's in his own little era. If he had 10 to 11 games, it would be a done deal at this point. But
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Joe Shiesty.
Joe Shiesty. Got it. Yeah. Cute.
Man, anytime.
He's good though.
He's great.
Best season of his career, and it pains me to say that as a Chiefs fan because I can't stand him. But
Joe Burrow is
he's
a killer. Yeah.
Right? And Jamar Chase too. Jamar Chase is the best wide receiver in the league. He is the best. He has the best
over Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson.
All right, stats are everything, but who's the best wide receiver between him and Jay Jettis? You think it's Jamar Chase?
Yeah. I go back and forth on this whenever I watch him play because I'm like, I was watching Justin Jefferson over the weekend. I'm like, damn, that's a bad man.
That's the smoothest route runner I know.
He is smooth, boy. He's just watching him. It's just beautiful. But
poetry.
But I'm like, Jamar Chase is like that too.
He runs with so much power. That's what I love. He's like a running back playing wide receiver that can run routes.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase is.
Yeah.
And he'll just run. He'll outrun you.
They just tough, man.
They are.
Those kids, because both of them played at LSU, right?
Yeah.
Them LSU players is something different.
Bro, let me tell you.
Yeah, I mean, Odell, Beckham, like, Lamar was like, I don't know what it is.
Hear me out. So, they got those two, right? Mm-hmm. And then just this year, 2 more came out.
Oh,
League members and Brian Thomas
like
Jr. Both of those guys killed the league this year. Jackson, win another one, but we'll see.
They're going to give it to Josh Allen. I'm not even trying to, go too hard about that, because I would love to see Lamar get another one. Yeah. But I just really think they just building up for Josh Allen. Like, all this talk with, he's done a lot with nothing. Proposed to his girlfriend, and this, that, and the third. Don't Chiefs.
Don't sell me a story. They did beat y'all, and they beat y'all convincingly. But I'm not a hater. I think I don't like
us convincingly, or did we just below the defensive coverage? Because who didn't think he was going to run on that down like that?
Nah,
be for real.
But I will say that don't give me a storyline. I just want to see the play. Show me good plays. Show me a guy that's leading his team. Right now, that's Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow. I wouldn't even be mad if you give it to Joe Burrow. With what he's had to deal with, they played some really close games where they've lost by maybe 1 or 2 points.
The defense is better. If they had a better defense, they would win more games. Absolutely.
Hopefully they're able to shore up that defense, but we'll see, man. But man, let's go ahead and jump right into this, man, because you definitely. But we want to talk about this because you hinted at like these coaches having white wives, which I'm all for. I'm D&I like for the pod. Like I love all inclusive like relationships.
I mean, I used to date.
I dated a white woman before. But like, what is all right? What do you think?
Long time ago.
Mine was in the Navy days.
I'm on a different path now.
Yeah, me too. But black athletes, white women.
I mean,
go. Let's talk about it.
It's just so many have just come about. Like I never knew Saquon had a white girlfriend and two kids with her at that.
2 kids. What's wrong with that? Shout out to a great season, though.
It just threw me for a loop. I just looking at him. I wouldn't have thought that. Usually, you can tell by the look of them.
How can you tell?
It's just something about them.
At this point,
like my brother dates white women. I'm like, if I were to see my brother on the street, I get it. Because I was like, I was having a conversation with him one day, and I'm like, do black girls ever like come up to you and try to, get with you? Because girls are bold these days. They'll just come up and just, spit, do their thing. And he was like, nah, like they really don't. And I was like, I bet. Because you can tell.
Bro
he looked like a cowboy.
He have a Nike hat on, cowboy belt with some cowboy boots.
He don't wear a Nike hat, but he wears some type of truck. So I got a big old truck, one like you used to drive. Now he like lifted it. It's like if I saw a black dude get out of that, he probably don't want me.
Probably don't listen to Shabuzi, do it.
Let me tell you though.
You gotta listen to Shabuzi if you black.
No, my brother listens to the countries of country and the hoodest of hoods too.
Really?
Like he'll come out with me sometimes, and you would think by how he dressed that he wouldn't really know all the Lil Baby, Boss Man D-Lo. But he listened to it all. Like, he's a music enthusiast. Like, we both are. Like, we just love music because our mom, as children, listen to so much music.
A lot of white country folk, they love our music. I think we actually have a lot more.
We influence all of that.
But I think we have more in common with, like, rednecks and, like, country.
I'm not
country
going to go into that. But yeah, Saquon. And
I forgot what we were talking about.
Then the guy from the Commanders,
he
proposes to his love of his life, who happens to also be a white woman. And then a black girl tweets, not this being the same dude that tried to fly me out to get his rocks off.
And you know what she said? She didn't say black woman energy. She said black girl. I do think that was messy. We need to leave that messy.
It was
in 2020.
I think that's also why people are like very cautious sometimes and like putting stuff on social media. And we talked about this the other week, like social media playing a part in relationships. Hello, this is one of those reasons, right? Because now she's saying this. You best believe that girl was like, "Wait a minute, who's this girl?"
And then it brings up another question: like, why don't you know how to play your role, know your place?
She should have kept it peace.
Just keep it peace. Like,
all girls can't do that though.
Why?
You heard SZA. Didn't I tell you about that song, What Do I Do, last week?
I didn't listen to that song. It kind of had me, like, traumatized.
Exactly. Because you probably have some girls in that position. She was saying, I know you're with a bitch now, I get emotional. They get emotional and they just act out of emotion. They just crash out, as the kids say. I will
say, like, if you know that you're in a position where you're in the dark, you should stay in the dark. Like it's crazy work to say that, but it's a situation where it's like, if you know your role and what it is, like, stay in that role. Now, if it's done to me, I'm going to get pissed off. You feel me?
See, that's what's wrong with y'all. That's what's wrong with people, man. But, like, girls, like, there's some girls. Y'all. No, but I think that's what's wrong, though. Some girls are going to do that. Like, they okay being the side chick. They don't care.
Yeah.
Like, that. We living in an era now where side girls are like, fine, they gonna pay for my bills still. They gonna take me out. They gonna do whatever, and I can still have my little whoop on the side.
Yeah.
They good. They like that, And then when they ready to settle down for real, they'll take the time to do that, right?
That's crazy.
But then you got some that aren't okay with that. They find out some stuff, but it's like you have to give people the choice. Don't put it all out on the table and let them decide if they gonna be the side chick or they gonna just be with you or whatever. But at the end of the day, to have less headaches, less stress, just being monogamous.
Nah, I agree. I agree with the monogamy. It's too much. It's worth too much. It's not worth your peace of mind and also what you built to have a whole bunch on the side. Now, I do agree. Now, if you have the money and you have a relationship where they understand, like, all right, he or she gonna have theirs on the side, have at it. Like, right. I'm all for the new age. Maybe it's always been a thing. But for me, I don't have time for it. I don't like spending my money. So if I have to spend money on more than one person, I don't want to do it.
I would have a fit, too.
I would be sick. Right. Like, there is no free cheating.
Right. Yeah.
It's not free. So
you're spending double the money sounds crazy.
Yeah. And if you're dealing with somebody just for sex to cheat, that's boring. Like, don't you want to be friends or, like, kind of have some type of rapport with the person you're dealing with?
Not everybody cares about that.
That's crazy.
But I mean, like, for me, I think about, like, could I be in a polyamorous relationship? No, because I would get too jealous. I just know myself.
Nah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I've talked to my friends about this before. They're like, but what if they just, like, all about, like, just you? Like, nah, still couldn't do it.
There's people that do it. I know, like, I've been asked that question before, like, would you want to have a threesome? I'm like, no. Like, why? I said, because, like, I want you for myself. And I would like to think that you want me for yourself. Would you want me to deal with another woman while we're together? Nah, that's just weird. You wouldn't want me to cheat, but you would want to, like, have sex with me with another person. That's insane.
Because they're in the room, it's regulated.
Nah, regulate that outside.
But you never know what can happen in those instances. Like, I heard about this girl one time who had a threesome with her husband, right? And I always thought this girl was gay. No, listen, hold on, check me out. I always thought this girl was gay. But she, like, everybody be like, no, she's not, you know. And she was all like, you know, just like a Bible thumper, just like, you know, like where she's just like trying to throw the Bible in people's face and stuff like this and like shun people that were gay.
Yeah.
Come to find out she had this threesome. She leave her husband for the girl.
Sick. I'll be pissed.
Yeah. So
that's why you don't introduce anybody into your relationships. But to get back to the, like, black athletes with white women.
No, man, people, bear with us.
Bear with us.
We're working on ourselves.
I will say, like, I don't have an issue with it. I've dated a white woman before in my life. And I think I said this before to you, like, she was so cool. Yeah. I can understand how somebody would want to date a white woman as a black man or as a person of color. But I do think that there are, like, cool, like reasonings why you shouldn't when you think of, like, building wealth. Like, think, for example, this. Think about this. I've seen this from some scholar on TikTok. Ooh. But, yeah, so, like, when you think about it, think about Patrick Mahomes Sr., right? He married a white woman. He had kids. Then Patrick Mahomes Jr. came around. He married a white woman. He's worth millions, half a billion. At this point, both of his kids are damn near white. So at this point, if they marry another white person, at this point, your black bloodline died with Patrick Mahomes. Right. So that money that you've accumulated over time is going to go to a white family at that point. Yeah. So I think, like, when you think monetarily, when you think about it love-wise, love who you want to love. But you also got to think about the economical issues that come about when you marry outside your race. Now, me, I loved the white girl I was with at the time. Like, we had great times. But after we dated, I realized, I was like, I think that I would like to stay within my race. I love people.
I can't say that I thought about economics at all in my thought process of like my first one. You should just give it a go, and I did, and haven't looked back since.
No, I messed up. I was like, me and this girl were just having fun, and then it like legit turned into like something. That's crazy. But I will say that my mom was not a fan of her.
Oh, my mom definitely wasn't. Yeah, no, I'm not even gonna say the rest of that.
Nah, like my mom wasn't a fan. I think my mom had this idea of just like, you were raised by a black queen. Right. She didn't say that. I'm saying that my mom was a black queen. Sure. And like, don't say sure. My mom is a black queen.
No, I'm saying like, yeah, sure. Like I'm sure she said that. I know she a black queen.
Yeah, mama.
I love like they too. What you talking about?
But nah, like I was raised by a black woman. She taught me the game. She taught me how to be an upstanding black man, and for me to bring home a white woman, it's just like to her. Yeah, it was a slap in the face, and also to her, she has.
My mom feels the same way.
She was like, the thing she would always say to me, she was like, "Yo, did I do it?" She didn't always say it to me. She's like, "Yo, it just made me feel like I didn't do right by."
I'm sure that's how my mom feels about my brother bringing home a white girl, me just bringing home a girl.
Yo, you should have known. Don't tap me up like that.
Oh, poor mama. She was to the pot. Sorry, mama, but this is how it's gonna be. It ain't changing.
Nah, I will say that. Like
what? Where did I go wrong?
It was, y'all kept that little Negro in soccer, like season. Like, what do you think was going to happen? It wasn't like he was playing in Europe.
Yo,
playing in Africa.
That's a good point. He was playing basketball with the Raptors, and that's as black as it's going to get back in the day.
Saying, like,
and then he goes to playing soccer with Cisa.
Maybe he should have went down to, what's the name of that place? Like, the South America, Brazil place.
Nah, but he's very well versed. My brother is friends with black people, white people, Hispanics, like whatever, you name it. He can speak Spanish.
It makes sense.
He's on the phone with him. I'm like, huh?
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
His charisma is out as well. I wish I was like that. But anyway, yeah, man. I think it's an interesting dynamic.
There's nothing wrong with it, man. Like, look, you marry, you love who you love. Like, that's just what it is. Right. I would like to think, I would love for us to, like...
I'm sure it's as simple as that, really. Because we can really go off on something else, too. Because what I'm thinking of is, like, same thing as you're talking about with, like, white and black as a heterosexual relationship. But just, like, even people being okay with being gay and loving who they love, too, right? You know? And
let's talk about it.
No, we don't have time for that. But even as such as, like, being... Or finding out later in life or whatever the case may be. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that there's a lot that kind of plays into that. You know what I mean?
I can see that.
Whenever you get to that point, you know? And I think now, like, it feels almost, like, trendy.
To be gay? I think so.
Yeah, and it's just like, are you really? Like, what's the deal? You down, you not? And I think people are just kind of figuring out because the dating pool is trash. It's like, why not try the other side? And, you know, the gays are so inviting. When I say the gays, I'm not talking about me. But, like, they're so inviting. And it's like, come on! We'll take you in. We'll show you a time. And if you like it, come on. If you don't, see ya.
I feel like y'all could be a little...
Listen, who is y'all?
Because I do think that's I'm an ally. I didn't know that they added an A for ally. So I'm here with it.
Added A where?
LGBTQ.
Oh, man, that's the whole alphabet on there. That's ridiculous.
But yeah, I'm an ally. I support love, you know.
That's a lot going
so
on.
If you want to love a fish, love a fish. Just make sure you don't do no weird stuff. But I will say, like, with black athletes, and then we can get off this topic, you know, when you go into, like, being at Clemson, right? A lot of black athletes are not in, what's the word I'm looking for?
Not in position to...
Not even position. They're not encouraged to, like, go to, like, black events, black parties, be a part of black clubs, you know? So, like, a lot of what they're around are the wider, like, fraternities and stuff like that.
So you're saying they have no choice?
They're very limited in who they kind of associate with. And a lot of them also look at, from my understanding of what I've seen and who I've talked to, they look at it from, like, a business standpoint. I think a lot of, like...
It's transactional.
Yeah, it's very transactional, very business-like.
I can see that.
I think with black women, there's a lot more demand and requirement that they require, yeah.
Absolutely. So, I think it's totally different. Now, I can't speak completely to that because at this big age, I'm not dating white women, but I do think that as a whole, like, black women require so much. It really is. Like, their standards are just different. I feel like...
We're very materialistic.
Well, not only that, but also just, like, being present, doing this just for the thought, like, acts of service, whatever. Truly living out all of those love languages. And I feel like sometimes for white women that maybe for them, if there's a struggle or something that happens, they're more willing to work through it. When black women sometimes see that, they're like, nah, I've done this before.
Yeah,
I'm not dealing through this. I'm not going through this trauma again.
There's a lot of trauma with that.
I totally get that. So I think, you know, we just got to do more work around that. I don't know what the best way to go about that is, or why that is.
I think you hit it right on the head. I think it's trauma. There's a lot, not all, but there's a lot of, like, no give and take within our community of, like, all right, what can you do for me? Like, what are you willing to do for me? But not a lot of sacrifice. With the white woman I was with, there was a lot of sacrifice and give on her end that I didn't necessarily receive from, like, my women I dated that were.
But I could have just been more about the who, not the not it truly being.
That's why I say it's not all, and I'm sure there are white women that take. I mean, we've heard stories, you know.
Sure, yeah.
They tried to get Jonathan Major. She was trying to take his money. Yeah.
Shoot, Travis Hunter, girl. What is she?
She's Latinx, Latina.
Oh, my fault.
She's crazy though. She's white Latina.
Well, anyway, so yeah, there's that. But I mean, there's so many different avenues you can kind of take when having that conversation. But I do think it's interesting how many have come out. But then there's been some proposals on New Year's or like Christmas where there was black female athletes that proposed to black women. So it might be more even than we think.
Yeah.
Like Eagles guy. Who was it?
Devontae Smith.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, he's with a black woman. AJ Brown, she's with a black woman. He's with a black woman. I'm tripping. And Jalen Hurts. You see the loops.
Oh yeah.
He's with a black woman. He just actually proposed to his queen too.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that there are black men that love black women. Like it's not just that way. It's not just one way. It can be the other way as well. But it has been something that we've noticed over time where, the same guy that literally said, when you get on your leave ass for a white girl, literally got him a white girl.
Wow.
So you gotta think about that.
Black women, I feel like just don't want to deal with Kanye for real.
Talk about it.
So for the people that care, Lil Baby drop. It did not tickle my fancy, and let me tell you that. It didn't. He just don't do it for me. You know what I mean? When he did Indeed with Drake.
That was it. That was like 2018.
That was a long time ago. And he used to have some other stuff here and there, but I just can't get with him. It just all sounds the same to me. And
I'm not a big...
It's like the same beats. I feel like almost like... I don't know. I did like the song Glorilla on there, if I can get that out. And I wanted to hear because Thug was on it, but maybe I need to give it another listen, but
I listened to it a little bit earlier. It wasn't my fan. I'm not a big fan of whiners. I don't like whiners. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Like I was talking to Juwan, my homeboy Juwan about this earlier. I'm not a big fan of emo rap. I feel like Lil Baby is emo rap. Like he does a lot of whining. Like Rod Wave, he does a lot of whining.
Oh, definitely.
I'm just not a big fan of it. I didn't grow up on that. Like the rappers we grew up on, like T.I., Lil Wayne,
Jeezy,
like
got those Jeezy,
like Gucci Mane, OJ Juice Man, 50, Waka Flocka, the old Waka Flocka before he went vegan.
I listened to Kanye back in the day. A lot of Jay-Z too.
Kanye and Jay-Z too. Just listen to like a different style of like rap. I'm not used to like them whining on the track. The whining I could do is Drake, but Drake don't really whine. He just really like sings. He vents.
Drake doesn't whine. Drake dropped his Fighting Irish freestyle with Conductor. And I love a Conductor beat, by the way. But anyway, I think I like the freestyle. He's getting shit off. He's just kind of addressing some different things that happened last year. And I think it's a rollout for him to drop an album here soon.
I'm sorry.
It is.
You thought the Cole was a rollout?
Because it is. The fall off is coming.
Fall off is coming.
So let me
for
tell
sure.
you, like in this first quarter right here, I feel like we're gonna get the fall off. Obviously, you're gonna get Kendrick at the Super Bowl. Feel like there may be another album coming. A lot of talks around that, but I just don't think that Drake's gonna let these guys just have a shine during that time.
Drake is gonna try to like step on all of this.
I think so too.
And I think it's gonna work.
Just warming y'all up right here.
Off the pop culture like side, it's gonna work, but it's not gonna feed like. I think the damage has been done within our community.
Mm-hmm. The damage.
I'm gonna listen to it. Because it's
exactly.
Drake.
That's what I'm saying. So the decision is not gonna be made until this album drops. You know what I mean? Like y'all can say that, Kendrick won, blah blah. Like Kendrick had a hell of a year. There's no doubt about that. But if Drake drops another album, what are they gonna be talking about? The album, what he's discussing on this album, right? Because everybody know now, and he knows for sure, he got to get some bars off right here. It can't
Drake?
be, Like for me, I like For All the Dogs, but everybody wasn't riding with that, and they're like, oh, we need Drake to really drop some bars. We need him talking about some these young girls, blah blah blah. Okay, well, y'all want some bars?
Man, I think
Drake, he'll give them to y'all.
I think the spell has been like shaken off. He's going to really. At this point, now it's time for him to rap. Like I don't care what.
Yeah, he wore me out.
Like this right here was not a rap. This was him venting about how everyone did him wrong. He's the victim. You are the one that started this. You were subliminally picking at Kendrick. Mm-hmm. He came at you. Then you tried to do a 2v1, which then you tried to pit you and J. Cole against this guy. Then J. Cole dropped out. He was like, man, I don't even want this beef. I don't want this blood on my hands. And then it's 1v1, and then you got beat. He got beat. Who won the battle? Realistically,
Kendrick. I'm okay with saying that. Look, I
there's nothing wrong with that.
I love Kendrick, J. Cole, and Drake. But all I'm saying is, like, Kendrick had a great year, but I think Drake is about to come out with some stuff. So he drops his freestyle addressing Kendrick, of course, but I also think he's taking shots at Cole and just the industry in general. Everybody else, Rick Ross, guys, because all y'all trying to gang up on me, do whatever. Like, okay, that's cool.
Who are the brothers that bought tickets?
Yeah, he said people fell in love with the gimmick. Even my brothers bought tickets. Well, you know, he's gonna be in Toronto back-to-back days.
Not fact. Shit, I'll buy tickets too.
I would too. I am. I did. I bought them. I'm going. I didn't buy them, but it was a gift. But
they there.
I'm going.
Yeah.
Right. And so Drake getting his stuff off though. He's like, no, I'm just saying, like, he takes a shot at Cole. I think that line about abandoning summer traditions, like, I get Dreamville's on the cusp of like spring, summer, but the cold shoulder after thing, like, I feel like that's a little jab there. And then, you know, he talking about what's the thing about like the fam, and he was like, I'm not the cousin you want to bring around. Like, talking about we all fam, you know what I mean? So
that shit is so like cheesy. It's so like, all right, bro. It's so like Family Feud-ish, you know.
What's the other one? Y'all want to pull a rabbit out the hat? Y'all love a magician? That's how all these people are now. Yeah, all y'all people really love Drake. Y'all be bopping all his. Let me finish. Y'all be bopping all his.
I'm gonna be y'all today.
Yeah, cause y'all like him. But now Kendrick come off. He say some bars and he really getting his stuff off. And now everybody want to jump on the Kendrick train. I've been on the train with Kendrick.
Let me tell you,
from the jump. So I'm not about to be going back and forth.
I love hip hop. I think we both love hip hop
at
its core, right? So when Kendrick came out, we all jumped on him like that was like our guy. But it was really three. It was the big three since like early 2010s. You can really say 2008, 2009. You had Drake, you had J. Cole, and you had Kendrick. Kendrick was like the latest, but to me, I felt like he spoke to the soul of people, especially with his album.
They all have their own lane of what they do. But I'm saying, like, people are so quick to just jump down Drake. And I get it. It's easy to do because of how he be acting sometimes, how he acts at times. But, like, still, like, if we're looking at projects and body of work, he's better than all them guys.
No, he's not. I think he makes popular music. Yeah. I think in recent years he makes popular music, but you know what popular music is? Pop music. Oh, he refers to himself as he's
an artist. If we're talking about, all right, who's the best rapper, that's a different conversation. But overall creativity, body of work, all these things, like, who is everybody calling up to get on the track with so they can go number one?
They're not calling Drake right now.
Because all them dudes taking shots at Drake have songs with Drake that have gone number one. Or at least top 10. But you can really say the same thing about, like, so literally. You can't say the same thing. Everybody ain't calling up Kendrick. Everybody not calling up Cole.
So this is my issue, is that Drake did the same thing to Meek. There was a point in time where Meek Mills was literally on fire. Meek spat at Drake. Drake did what Drake does.
Drake killed
got him out of here, right?
Yeah, and then they got on some tracks together.
Drake loses the battle, and now he's pissed off.
To who, Meek? Oh, to Kendrick.
I think that's my issue, is that not only do you lose, you put out this freestyle, and before that, and you have a line in there. What's that line? I hate to see the empire crumble on judges' convictions.
Oh yeah.
You put out like, come on, man. You put out lawsuits because, like, now it's an issue because, like, this guy, like, called you a pedophile. Hopefully it's not true. I don't know. Like, who cares at this point? But it's just a lot of, like, even you say I have Egyptian blood. You're a Jew. Egyptians were literally oppressing Jews. Like, why would you want to, like, say that in a line? Maybe I'm being a bit more technical in this because I'm a hater. I just want good music. That's all I ask for.
I think it's coming.
I hope so. All I'm saying is that Drake lost. He needs to admit that he lost and move on from it.
He's not going to admit that he lost. He's a competitor at the end of the day. Like, all these guys, it's sport. I mean, like, they're all competing or whatever. It is what it is. But he's not going to admit he lost.
Sierra, how many losses have you had in your career, basketball-wise?
I don't know the number. But it wasn't many.
But you lost.
But it wasn't many.
But you lost.
I got a lot of championships.
You're making me sick.
Because you're talking to the wrong way. It's just like Drake. Ain't nothing about me saying loser, bro. I'm a winner. I can tell you right now, when I was at Hillcrest that year, I literally lost.
My freshman year, I lost every game.
Hate that for you.
My first year at A&T, when I was a walk-on, we lost every game.
Ooh, hate that for you.
All I'm saying is that, like, I'm not calling myself a loser per se.
No, I know.
But like, what I'm saying is that, like, you take losses. You got to learn how to rebound from those losses.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
I think he's just a light-skinned boy that didn't learn how to take losses. Which I think Drake is a great rapper. I think that the flow of the freestyle was cool. But I do think that, like, hopefully, I hope that Kendrick doesn't play Not Like Us at the
Oh, he's going to.
He's going to play it. But at the end of the day, man, listen to me. There was a lot of stuff that he said in this freestyle that, like, hinted at Cole, hinted at Kendrick. He was hinting at, like, oh, I've got me. We traded watches. Like, I got you the something dial. You got me the whatever. Like, I'm like, bro, like, okay, like, we get it. There's a lot of people that betrayed you. Like, I got betrayed by friends before. You know, like, you got to move on. You feel me?
Look,
that man is not losing his, like, you're
music
losing
is
money.
an outlet. No pun intended. But music is an outlet. So, you feel me? And so he is just letting y'all know how he feel. That's part of who Drake is.
Plug this Negro into a vending machine until he goes back to old Drake. This right here, this is a different kind of Drake. You know, we was watching Drake like earlier. What was it? 8 a.m. in Charlotte, 8 p.m. in Charlotte, when he had the little things in his hair, like colorful. I was like, you know, it took one man to come out and say, hey, grow up. You suck. Your music hasn't been the same for you to cut your hair and come back to life. That's all I'm saying, man.
And to be fair, if you watch that freestyle though, he still had his braids, so this was a little while ago.
It was.
Pay attention now. So this was a little while ago. They just leaked it, whatever. Bro. And now, he cut his hair. He getting back to his old ways. Y'all wait on it. Like, we gotta keep going on it.
I'm so tired of talking about the lighter skinned people in this. Man, let's talk about this dog. Hey, so, all right. I'll say this, and then you rebuttal. Drake is not the same Drake from For All the Dogs.
Is not the same Drake as he was when he made For All the Dogs. I agree. That's what I was just saying. I think it's gonna be a totally different album.
I think at this point he's lost the sauce.
No, it's Drake.
I think that the mystique of Drake is gone.
He gotta figure out, like, all right, I got some other things I can talk about now.
What else he gonna talk about?
He gotta grow up. It's just like Jay-Z's music has changed over time, right? As he's got into his older age, having kids now, got a wife now, he's a businessman, all those things, right?
There's proof of him kissing like kids. There's proof of him going on dates with like.
All right, we're not doing this.
All right, my fault. My fault, Drake.
No.
But we might cut that out.
We
might not.
No.
No, we're not gonna do
it is what it is, but
I like Drake. I'm still gonna listen to his music. Literally.
That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, like, everybody
it's literally like
listen to this music. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. It is what it is. But
can I just go on a rant real quick?
No, we gotta wrap this up.
Please.
Overtime.
Yo, this is like 30 seconds.
Go.
All right. What time is it? Damn.
All right.
We're up time. Hey man, I just want to see Black Cowboys. You know, I've been watching Yellowstone. Like, can we please get some shows that deal with like us other than being in the streets or being like Franklin's or Ghosts or like Tariq? Yes. Yeah, like I just
Well,
you know I've been watching Yellowstone. I'm on season 3 now. I've literally been binging it for the last week. Yo, that is probably the greatest show I've ever seen in my life.
I haven't watched it, but I heard it's really good.
It's good. All right, that's my 30 seconds. My 30 seconds is up.
Okay, I thought it was going to be about something totally different. I was not expecting that. So, all right, there you go, people. Watch Yellowstone, I guess. Yeah. I just finished Lioness. It's a great show.
I don't like watching Zoe.
So I love her. And Morgan Freeman's in it too.
Every time, you know, my problem with her is that like every time I see her, she's with a white man.
Oh, she's married to me. Not gonna go there. All right, listen, we appreciate you guys.
Hold on. We gotta do a recap.
Okay.
So just to let you know, we got the Kevin Hart coming up in a couple weeks, man. If you're gonna buy your tickets. It's gonna be in Charlotte. I'm sure it's gonna be in other areas too. If you're in the Charlotte area between January 17th and 26th, please go to the Charlotte Restaurant Week Queens Fest. It's going to be good. And if you got the money, man, go out there to watch the Lakers play the Hornets on the 27th at the Spectrum Center.
There it is. Listen, we appreciate you guys. tuning in and listening to the Plugged In podcast. And please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube. We're on Apple, Spotify podcasts. We also just made a TikTok, so follow us on there and on Instagram. See you guys next week. We out.
That's right. Hopefully my phone didn't die. My phone died. No.